Alright, so this video is to talk about my experience with setting up a 12-valve Cummins with a fuel pressure gauge. Specifically the difference between using a snubber valve and a needle valve in between the banjo fitting and the fuel pressure gauge. This particular engine is a 1995 model, so this represents 94 to 98 Cummins with a Bosch P7100 injection pump. So at least on here, the inlet side of the high pressure injection pump is right here. I've ordered two different adapter fittings, both made by Glowshift. This one is just a simple banjo fitting to 1/8 inch NPT adapter. And then I also ordered up their banjo fitting with a built-in snubber valve. Now, initially, now you can see I have a needle valve installed right now. But before I even did that, I had just the simple adapter with this liquid-filled pressure gauge. And with the adapter and the liquid-filled gauge, the needle would still fluctuate quite a bit, especially as the engine and the fuel warmed up. So you would get roughly 8 to 10 psi swings on the gauge, which was pretty annoying to read. So after that, I tried using from the same company, their snubber valve that's built into the banjo fitting, and that made absolutely no difference. I was still getting the same 8 to 10 psi swings on the gauge. So I was extremely disappointed by that. This is actually being sent back. Now, when I took it out, I noticed that, you can see that screwdriver slot, and I thought, well, maybe I can adjust that to dampen the how much pressure actually goes through. But it was bottomed all the way out. So, I mean, there's absolutely no way that I can do anything to make this thing more accurate. So, extremely disappointed in this. This is going back. But what I found what really works well is installing I went back to their basic adapter fitting with an 1/8 inch pipe thread needle valve, an adjustable needle valve I can adjust right here. And this has given me very nice and smooth and consistent readings on the gauge. Now I've got it cracked wide open right now because I want to show what the gauge looks like with the engine running and to show how much needle movement there is. And when I have the engine running, I'm not going to be able to talk, and you're not going to be able to hear my voice in the video, so I'm just going to tell you right now what I'm going to do. So it's wide open right now. It'll show the needle movement. I'm going to close it all the way so the needle should stop completely, and then I'm going to crack it open just a hair, and at that point you can see how nice and smooth the needle movement is. So I absolutely recommend using a needle valve instead of a snubber valve, whether you're using a mechanical fuel pressure gauge, like this engine is set up in the back of a trailer as an engine test stand, or if you have an electrical sensor going to a fuel pressure gauge inside a truck cab. It's the same thing either way. So I would absolutely recommend using a needle valve over a snubber valve. I'm going to start this thing up now and I'll show you what's going on. Let's see, got this wide open. So this pressure gauge reads about 2 psi too high, but even still, you can see that's a pretty healthy lift pump on the engine. Someone before me has replaced it with a aftermarket Delphi unit, but that's, I mean, the fuel pressure reading that you saw in there is just excellent for this engine, or it's definitely up to snuff. So bottom line, absolutely use a needle valve instead of a snubber valve, and that'll give you nice, accurate, consistent readings and keep your fuel pressure gauge from fluctuating back and forth. So hopefully that helps someone out.